Welcome to Week in Geek, your new comics preview for May 16th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
And I'm the Chris Brown.
What do you got?
Well, this week I'm going to lead off with kind of an interesting one here. This was kind of an on-the-fly decision as I saw it on the rack. DC Universe Presents number 9. This is a Vandal Savage story by James Robinson.
Oh, wow.
And I really like, he loves those characters, you can tell, and he gives those kind of characters a certain tender love and care. And I do. I will always have a soft spot for James Robinson because of Starman. I pretty much think he can do whatever he wants. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think this should be pretty cool. It's got artwork by Bernard Chang.
Savage,
right.
I think, is in the Demon Knights book.
Oh, is he? I fell behind on that
He's one of the characters in that, but this looks like it's taking place in the modern time, so we're getting a glimpse of the modern day.
A daughter's destiny, a father's secret, it says. So that brings me to the next one here is The Shade number 8. This is also by James Robinson. This one is with art by Jill Thompson.
Oh, wow.
So that looks pretty nice, of course. Her stuff is always great. And again, this is a walk through the new 52 here. So it's through the eyes of the Shade and all the various characters and kind of coming through, and it's had different artists on every issue. And again, James Robinson really, really loves this character, and he makes me love him too. Then Avengers number 26. This is an A versus X tie-in. There's an awesome cover here. Thor fighting Marvel with art by Walt Simonson.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. He did the pencils on the inside, too. That's this should be great. Really, really looking forward to it. I've been enjoying the other A versus X stuff. And usually Bendis, when he's doing a tie-in, he kind of slows it down and takes it through the eyes of that. And it looks like this is the group that's on the front line fighting the Phoenix as they're coming through space. So you have that Walt Simonson art of Thor fighting the Phoenix.
Nice.
Yeah, oh, man.
Full-page Thor shot.
Gorgeous. Then A versus X, round 4. This is Jonathan Hickman, written here with pencils by John Romita Jr. and inks by Scott Hanna, who also inked that Avengers over top of Simonson.
It looks like it's got the augmented reality stuff in there, too.
Yes, it does, and it's got a little bit of that battle with Thor and Phoenix. So I've liked this A versus X title.
Yeah.
I think it's been fun. It's been a little silly, a little ridiculous, but it's Avengers versus X-Men. Yeah. That's what I wanted. That's what I expected. And then we've got Avengers versus X-Men versus. This one here has a do come out with Colossus. Is that Juggerlossus?
Yeah.
Versus they're just calling him Colossus.
Yeah.
Versus Spider-Man and Gambit versus Captain America.
Gambit versus Captain America.
Kind of a strange battle. Looks like where are they at there? Is that Savage Land?
It's a Steve McNiven.
Yes, it is. So that's pretty.
Yeah.
Looks good. And then what do we got? Salvador LaRocca is doing the Spider-Man versus Colossus stuff. And that also looks great. So yeah, that's fun. Looking forward to that.
Fun superhero fighting.
Then Daredevil number 13. This has just been a great book. We've got pencils by Koi Pham this time. So this is someone we haven't seen yet on this, but it's still very much in the similar style, and those colors are still a pop art sort of feel to it, which I just think is awesome. I mean, I love this feeling on Daredevil right now. Great book, fun book. Really digging that. Then we've got Hardcore number 1. I believe this is one of those pilot season books. Yeah. This is Top Cow. Mark Silvestri has a bunch of writers do a bunch of things, and then voters get to vote on whether or not they like it. I don't think many of these have actually made it, though.
A couple have, but
they don't last long.
Yeah.
And none of the Kirkman ones have made it so far. But this one here is written by Robert Kirkman. Who knows? Maybe all the hullabaloo surrounding Walking Dead and Thief of Thieves will make this one a hot one.
That's true.
I don't even know what the concept of this is. Looks like there's some sort of cybernetic, weird, plugged-in guy on the cover. Okay. Sounds good. Not everything Kirkman does seems to appeal to everyone. Yeah. Haunt only did okay. Curious about this one, but I think it looks good, and I'm excited about it. Then I've got Justice League number 9. Beautiful cover by Jim Lee. This is, what do we got here? We had Green Arrow. Was that Green Arrow on the last one joining the team or trying to join the team?
Yeah, he wanted on the team.
And now this one, what's the deal here? Are we just pushing forward on our story? So
looks like Jim Lee's back, though.
Yeah, yes, he is. Pretty stuff. Really nice stuff. I've really enjoyed Justice League so far.
Yeah, it is set in the current continuity now. It's jumped to the present. And we're seeing where the Justice League is today.
Indeed. We've now got the next up here is Planet of the Apes number 14. I still really like this. This is part 2 of The Half Man. This is written by Daryl Gregory, artist by Carlos Magno. They've been doing this pretty much the whole way through. I think that artwork is fantastic. I really like it. It gives it sort of an interesting regal vibe to the monkeys.
Yeah.
And I like that. I think that's gives them so much life. Really, really cool stuff. Great characterization. As I've said before, and will continue to say, I'm sure, Boom is doing a great job with my Planet of the Apes.
Indeed.
Then we've got Planet of the Apes, Manhattan Projects.
got monkeys on the
I got
brain.
monkeys all over the place. Manhattan Projects number 3. The last issue was a little crazy. Mm-hmm. That was the German scientist.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Werner or something. Werner von Braun.
Yes, and then drawing him into this. I like this altered history kind of thing that they're doing. It's been a lot of fun. Curious to see how they're going to bring it all together. And there we go again with what's his name from the first issue? Oppenheimer. Yeah, so he's back in there. Obviously, we just took a little respite to introduce us to von Braun, and now we're back with Oppenheimer.
We're still getting kind of introductions to all of the characters. And
is this an ongoing? Or?
I think it is.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
See where they take it, because it is just sort of introducing us to characters at this point. Don't really know what the larger story is, but Hickman's good at keeping that under wraps until he's ready to let you know. Then we've got Saucer Country number 3. This book is awesome. Sort of a weird alien abduction book, New Mexico. This one's got some creepy bunnies. All right. I'm curious about creepy bunnies. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I feel about bunnies in general. They're cute. They're fine. They hop around in the yard. But people that have them as pets and such, I just don't know. And here, again, creepy bunnies. Alien bunnies of some kind, maybe. I don't know.
Alien bunnies, even worse.
But it's written by Paul Cornell, who I think is doing some good job. And he's also doing that Demon Knights. Mm-hmm. And that takes me through the bulk of my stack. What are you looking at there?
I'm starting off with Amazing Spider-Man Ends of the Earth. I'm not sure why this is. This is a one-shot. Okay. Written by Dan Slott. Oh, no, written by Rob Williams. So that's probably why it's not part of the regular Ends of the Earth storyline. At the end of last issue, we had kind of a big reveal, a big sort of crisis moment. And this is, I think, taking a look at what's going on around the world outside of the Spider-Man part of things. So we've got Captain Britain in here, or actually Union Jack in here. We've got Big Hero 6. So we're looking at what's going on in other parts of the world as all this stuff is going on in Spider-Man. So I've been enjoying the Ends of the Earth storyline so far. I mean, obviously we know Doc Ock is not going to destroy the world, but it's interesting to find out exactly how they're going to thwart him. Next up, Fantastic Four 605.1. I was really looking forward to this because now that Hickman has finished that big story that he started, and now he's just got a lot of stuff that he's going to be dealing with, smaller stuff to pad out the rest of his run, I think, until October or so. So I think that's going to be introduced here. I think here we're going to get the idea of what Hickman's got planned for the ending of his run. And I've been enjoying this book all along. It's been our top pick many times.
Really fun stuff.
Very, very good stuff. Next up is Fury Max number 2. I was actually surprised at how much I liked the first issue.
Really? I didn't read it.
And it's very, very different from the other Fury Max story. It's not it's not the crazy over the top violent, gory Garth Ennis and Nick Fury that we had before. This actually, honestly, you could take the eye patch off of this, and it could easily be like an image book of a CIA agent in the 50s in Vietnam. Okay. And it is Vietnam in the 50s prior to the U.S. involvement. The French are involved, but the CIA was obviously there. So yeah, it's actually just so far. I mean, I don't know if this issue turns into some more traditional Garth Ennis, but the first issue was really just a spy story that honestly could have fit in like Thief of Thieves or Pigs or one of those image books. It starts with Fury in the modern day reminiscing about the horrors of his past. So yeah, if you really just want a good kind of 50s era, Cold War spy story, this is actually pretty good. I don't know, at least the first issue.
Well, Ennis tends to like war stuff. Yeah. And he does well with it.
And if you remember, like, when he did The Punisher the first time, it was very twisted and dark humor and over the top. But then when he came back, he actually did a little bit more of a traditional, very intense crime drama. So it's almost like he's doing that here. Okay. He's scaling back on the crazy over the top stuff, which I actually liked a lot. I was surprised at how much I liked that first issue. Next up is Green Lantern Corps. The Alpha War continues. Yet again, the Green Lanterns are going up against the Alpha Lanterns. You know, at some
I don't know how much I
point,
liked that last time.
At some point, you'd think the Green Lanterns would just say, you know, I'm kind of tired of this. You know, get rid of the Alpha Lanterns, get rid of the Guardians. Yeah. It's kind of odd that the Green Lantern books spend a lot of time with Green Lanterns fighting Green Lanterns.
Yes, they do.
I guess they got tired of fighting the Yellow Lanterns and the Red Lanterns, and they're fighting Green Lanterns again. But in any event, it's still a pretty good book. Peter Tomasi's been doing a great job on this book since it started. Looks like we've got Jon Stewart on trial. I feel sorry for that guy. He always seems to get the short end of things. We got Guy Gardner. We got Jon Stewart. We've got the Green Lantern Corps. It's pretty solid stuff still. Next up, Green Lantern, the animated series, number 2. I love this cartoon.
It is good. I like the writing. I actually wish the cartoon was more in the style of the art in the book.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are not real thrilled with the
story's great.
Kind of everything looks like a toy.
The characters they're using are fun. Yeah. The story's really cool.
If you can get past that, it's actually a well-written show that feels very much like the traditional, like Paul Dini, Bruce Timm stuff. I mean, it really seems to. I could easily see coexisting in that universe, and it's got those kind of characterizations. So if you like that, you're going to get that here. Written by Art Baltazar and Franco. Yep. Art by Dario Brizula. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. But it's good stuff. You know, this is not the CGI. This is traditional. Yes. I mean, yeah, if the show looked like this, it would probably be a little bit more interesting. But I can handle it. I think the stories are well written enough, and this is really a great take on it. In a lot of ways, I think I'm liking the animated Green Lantern more than the regular Green Lanterns because it's very simple. The real thing's gotten very complicated over the last couple of years. Next up, Hellblazer. Peter Milligan, I believe this is the final chapter of John Constantine Goes to Hell. This is the epilogue to rescue his sister's soul. This has always been a great book. This time Constantine is dealing with at some point in the past, this book is very, very reliant on its own continuity. Constantine took all of his dark, evil elements, although not really because he's still kind of a jerk, separated them off into its own entity and kind of cast down into hell in his place. And it looks like now his own dark half, evil twin, is back for some vengeance. He's come back a few times. But this is a great book. I love John Constantine. This is for... 291-ish months. This has been the longest running Vertigo book, longest running mature readers book. You know, we're a year away from 300. And this has been a great book pretty much the whole time. Next up, Reset by Peter Bagge. This was actually pretty interesting too. I mean, it's a strange story of a stand-up comedian who's down on his luck. And he submits to this experimental process that lets you sort of relive or recreate your elements from your past, and you can interact with things from your past. We don't really know exactly who these people who are doing it are, or what their agenda is. So it's a weird kind of comedic Philip K. Dick thing. Okay. But the first issue was a lot of fun. It was kind of interesting, and shows how even if you could go back and fix things in your past, you'd probably still just screw them up.
That's true.
Next up, Secret Service number 2. I really like the first one a lot. Some fantastic art by Dave Gibbons. Mark Miller is again doing a movie pitch or a TV show. Who knows? He's flexible.
Okay. The art's great.
Great artwork. Really interesting idea. Again, nothing that you haven't kind of seen before, but still good, entertaining stuff. It's basically a British Secret Service agent. Looks like he's going to bring his young nephew in to the British Secret Service. But still, fun stuff. Next up, Uncanny X-Men number 12. This is another AVX book. On the cover, we've got the Thing versus the Submariner.
Are they still fighting?
They're still fighting. I thought we already had this fight.
Yeah, I thought that was in the Versus book, the first Versus book.
So, I don't know. Maybe this is another fight. Because actually, that one ended with, I think, the Thing won, but Namor was not really out for the count.
How are you going to beat Namor underwater?
Yeah, I don't know. But it looks like they're fighting some more, which is fine. Because I like that fight. That's a good classic. Namor really joined the Marvel Universe in the Silver Age as an FF villain.
Yes.
So these two have got some bad blood that's been going on for a long time. Next up, Winter Soldier. This is a great, realistic, dark espionage book that features a gorilla with a machine gun. What else do you need? I think there's a Doombot, too. Yeah. Machine gun wielding Doombots and gorillas with guns. That's all you need.
Yeah, geez, I'm in.
And that's my stack.
All right, let's see what I got here. Well, the top of my stack, I'm looking at Danger Club #2 by Image. I liked this first issue. This was one that I didn't hear a lot of people talking about, but I'm kind of surprised, though, because it was an interesting, weird book where all the superheroes have left Earth, something has happened, the heroes have left Earth, the sidekicks are left behind. Some of these sidekicks are super powered. The most powerful among them has sort of declared himself kind of a god. It's a free-for-all, and he's kind of got a gladiatorial thing sort of going, and a group of sidekicks decide to take him on.
Oh, wow.
And I don't want to spoil your fun. You know, it's at this point been long over a month since that last one came out. But they royally kick this guy's tail. I mean, they take him out. So now what? It was a great first issue to lead you up and see kind of what this world was, but it was really just like a minor plot point. Clearly there's something else going on, and I'm curious to see where it's going. I like the art. It looks like kind of a fun superhero book. You know, it almost has like a 90s sort of look and feel to it, but that's okay. The 90s are getting far enough away that I'm forgetting what they did to us. What do you got there?
Well, my top would have been your top if I hadn't stolen it.
It would have been, as I was looking through my stack. I was like, wait a minute, where is it?
It was my, the first issue was my top pick. I think the second issue was your pick. Third issue was mine again. It is Saga #3 from Image Comics and Brian K. Vaughan with the art by Fiona Staples.
Great title.
This is one of the best books out there now. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air. It's a sci-fi fantasy book.
Yeah.
You know,
unlike anything I've ever read.
I've had a lot. Personally, I have a lot of complaints with certainly a lot of Image books, and I think it also applies to a lot of Marvel and DC books, and from all companies, is that so many things feel like they're TV shows. I mean, if not necessarily TV pitches, but they feel like they're in tone that they're a lot like a television show, which I understand because it's a very similar format. This feels like a classic sci-fi novel. It's big, epic.
Yes.
It's got a love story. It's Romeo and Juliet set against cosmic war.
And drops you right in the middle. It doesn't really build it up. It drops right in the middle.
It's got interesting characters. It does not give you a lot of backstory. It lets you fill those gaps in as you're going. Brian K. Vaughan is a fantastic writer. It's great to have him back doing comics again. And this might be one of my favorite books. It might actually be my favorite book right now because I certainly look forward to reading it more than anything else when it comes out.
Right on. Hopefully you could hear that through my cell phone, which is over there. So I couldn't turn it off. Way to go. Who's calling me on my cell phone on a Tuesday? Thanks, guys. Yeah, great book. I love the last page of the last issue. Has me super excited, and then here we got that on the cover. I can't wait. I'm really, really excited to read that one.
And you know, I was planning, originally when this book was solicited, my plan was to just wait, get it in collected edition. I'm sure they're going to do a nice, gorgeous hardcover separate hardcover. Honestly, I don't want to wait for this book.
And it reads nicely from issue to issue. And that first issue was so thick. You know, I did hear some people going, well, the second one wasn't as big. Yeah. Hey, listen. Don't let yourself get spoiled. The first one was a nice treat.
Yeah.
And then the second one was a great book. Obviously, if you want it to be longer, it's because you're liking it.
Vaughan does a great job with telling month-to-month stories that end on a nice little cliffhanger and have you going, oh, what's going to happen next? And honestly, as much as I like the idea of having this in a great, beautiful hardcover format, it's just too good to wait for.
And I'll buy it in hardcover, but
this is probably worth double dipping, but you don't want to wait. This is great stuff.
Agreed.
Great stuff. Best book Image is doing right now, and Image is publishing like 3 or 4 Jonathan Hickman books. So
yeah. So with that is your Week in Geek.